Good day, sir. Good day, classmates. So, my topic is all about definition and features of the 21st century teaching and learning. So, first, analysis, building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum need verticalization, horizontalization, and landscaping the cognito on orientation, experience, and discipline formal learning in knowledge construction. The same as we build the physical and material building, we need to have the architectural design as a roadmap on the program of work and the landscape of the structural foundation. All necessary physical and human resources to be in place to assure quality enhancement. Quality services are measured according to the effectiveness and efficiency on the delivery of the program. Next are the nature, concept, and origin, or we call vision, mission, and goals. In the context of their nature, concept, and origin, the teacher provides a platform for students to acquire the required tacit knowledge, skills, potentiality, ability, talents, and develop positive attitude, values, and beliefs. This can be done with the help of a plain interaction, the curriculum. The curriculum is a conceptual framework, abstract, that an individual learner walkway of their training field which both the school, teacher, and the student meet together using their common vision, mission, and goals to reach out the individual dream to finish the course curriculum or program of studies. So now we have to go to abstraction. So building and enhancing new literacies across curriculum is a new program of studies in the College of Education. It is reinvented, re-engineered, and enhanced to encompass the outcome-based teaching learning, delivery plan, and modes required by the HEIs. It is enhanced due to the demand on the given generation of time, space, and circumstances. It is beyond 3 hours, like reading, writing, and arithmetic or arithmetic. The new literacies are going to enhance and typical to educational learning environment of an individual such as social, cultural, political, economics, psychological, and other allied social sciences directly and indirectly involved in the making of the growth and development of individual search to final meaning. So that's all, class, and thank you for listening.
And in class, we will be going to tackle the curriculum and curriculum development. For the contents, we have the curriculum, definition of curriculum, types of curriculum, and then the curriculum development and its stages. Curriculum. The term curriculum refers to the lessons, academic content, taught in a school or in a specific course or program. So curriculum also plays an important role playing field in the teacher or teaching course. So the desired outcome of curriculum is successful transfer and or development of knowledge, skills, and attitude. Curriculum is for teacher is as a guidance to enforce the process of learning activity. So it is also planned interaction of students and learners with instructional content, materials, resources, and process for evaluating the attainment program or course of educational objectives. So it is the learning plan that is taught by the school. So it is often defined rather as the courses offered by the school, but it is rarely used in such a general sense of schools. So we have the types of curriculum. First is the ideal or the recommended curriculum. So this refers to what scholars propose as the most appropriate curriculum for learners. Next is the written curriculum. Refers to the official curriculum embodied in approved state curriculum guide. Next is the implemented curriculum. This refers to the actual implementation of curriculum or what the teachers in school teach. The next is supported curriculum. This refers to the curriculum that is reflected on and shaped by the resources. The last is the null curriculum. This refers to various curriculum, contents, or topics that must not be taught to the students. So next, we have the curriculum development. So next, we have the curriculum development. Curriculum development is planned, thoughtful, and deliberate course of actions that ultimately enhance the quality and impact of the learning experience for students. It includes the development and organization of learning activities designed to meet the intended learning outcomes. Curriculum development also sets forward a clear purpose and goals. With curriculum development, there is improvement in the quality of lessons. It also improves the continuous assessment process. So it also helps in making strategies in learning and teaching. So the last is we have the stages in the curriculum development. First is the needs assessment. So the last is we have the stages in the curriculum development. First is the needs assessment. Identify the needs, interests, and abilities of learners as well as societal of industry needs. Next is setting objectives. Define clear, measurable learning objectives that align with the needs assessment and educational goals. So for the content selection, we should determine what content, knowledge, and skills included in the curriculum to meet the objectives. Next is the implementation. Put the curriculum into action, including training educators, providing resources, and delivering instruction to students. Then, evaluation assess the effectiveness of the curriculum achieving the objectives. Gather feedback from the students or stakeholders and make adjustment as needed. So for the last is the revision. Based on evaluation findings and changes in educational needs or standards, revise the curriculum to improve its effectiveness and relevance. So for the generalization, this curriculum and curriculum development will be serves as a guide for the teachers on what we have, what should we, what we must learn throughout the school year. Thank you.
And the next is the digital storage. Put all the text, sounds, photo, and video media into the common standard. Digital 0S and IS in a computer so that can easily to share, stored, research, and manipulated and emerging digital platters in a VoIP or voice over internet protocol. So which allow people to make phone calls using a broadband internet connection. This is a platinum because all VoIP calls cost the same regardless of how far you are calling next door or to the another continent. So this lesson is all about the impact of digital and mobile technologies on how communication work. The digital storage refers to the standardization of the various media types into the digital formats, so making them easily to shareable, storable, searchable, and manipulatable. Like for example, voice over internet protocol. So it is a digital platinum because it is enable phone calls over the broadband internet connection, making call goes the same regardless of the distance. The mobile storage consists of technology that lets you work away from your office. Chief among these people is the spread of wireless internet access, which allow people to work online from their portable computer in airports, hotel lobbies, libraries, and even coffee shop. So the mobile storage involves technology that enable remote work such as a wireless internet access. So this is allow people to work from various locations outside the traditional office like airport, coffee shop, or librarians using a portable computer.
Good morning everyone. Good morning sir. This morning I am going to discuss the topic. By the way, I am Gerson Encatobay from BTPD 3B Automotive. So I'm going to discuss my topic, which is the basic curriculum model as part of our group 4 assigned topic. So this morning we will tackle the basic curriculum model. So we have two long-standing models. So these are the process model and the product model. So the process model refers to the structured framework or plan that outlines the steps and procedures involved in designing, implementing, and evaluating curriculum. And then the product model refers to an approach that focuses to an end result or outcome of the educational process. The emphasis is placed on the knowledge and skills students are expected to acquire at the end of the curriculum. So what are the difference between the two? So the difference is that the product is focuses on the skills or the outcome of the curriculum that the student acquired after learning from the curriculum. So while the process model, it refers to a structured framework. So meaning this is a plan that outline the steps and procedures. So this is one of the procedures, the guidelines that involves in designing, implementing, and evaluating curriculum. So, okay class, do you want to have an activity? Yes. So there is a question here that will serve as your activity. So now, please get a piece of paper and write your answer. I'm giving you one question to answer. So what, as a future educator, what would you do if student could not catch up to your way of teaching? So what would you do if student could not catch up to your way of teaching? So, okay, I will give you 3 minutes to answer that. Then if you are done, please stand and share your thoughts or your answer to your classmates. Okay, are you done? Okay. Okay, so I have my explanation here since this is online. This is a recorded discussion. So I have here my answer that if the student could not catch up the way of my teaching, is what I am going to do is to try to understand the specific challenge they are facing. So every learning has their challenge. So it is important as a teacher to discover or to know what will be the specific challenge of that learners, why they cannot catch up your teaching. Okay, then second, I would adapt my teaching methods to better suit their learning style and needs. As we all know that learners has different learning styles. We have number 1 visual, number 2 audio, and number 3 kinesthetic, and there is also number 4 which we call multiple intelligence. So it is very important for us to address or to know our learners well so that we can cater or we can give them the proper methods that they want for them to be able to catch up the lesson. So number 3 is providing additional explanations, examples, resources, offering extra support outside of class, or exploring alternative teachings approach. So go back to the basic curriculum model. So we have here the perspective model. So a perspective model is designed by Ralph Tyler. So he wrote down the ideas in a book. The following 4 steps are: determine the school purpose, identify educational experience related purpose, organize the experience, and evaluate the purpose. So what do you mean by determine the school purpose? In making a curriculum, you have to know the objectives, the aims, the goals, and the objectives of the school, because your curriculum would be based on what the schools, what the school want for the outcome of the learning. So we also have here the interactive strategies model. So interactive strategies model is designed by Hilda Taba. She created a multi-purpose teaching model that utilizes the use of multiple process. So what are the multiple process that she was using and creating a curriculum. We have here the listing, grouping, labeling, regrouping, and synthesizing. So when you say listing, so you have to record all the things that could be the source of your curriculum instructional material. So after that, you have to group it, and then label, and then after that regroup again to have the proper sequence, and then synthesizing. So in systemic static model developed by Elliot Eisner, this model offers systemic and dimensional view of a curriculum. And this model also advocates of combining behavioral principles with static components to form a curriculum planning model. So the 5 dimensions are intentional, D, B, structural, C, curriculum, D, pedagogical, and E, evaluative. So you have to remember this, the 5 dimensions that Elliot Eisner used as guide or a basis of making a curriculum. So we also have the people who wrote or designed the curriculum. We have John Keir. So according to John Keir, he designed the simplified model of curriculum. So includes the essential elements. So what are those elements that are necessary according to John Keir? We have here the objectives, the knowledge, the evaluation, and the school learning experience. So when you say objectives in making a curriculum, this is very important because the flow of your learning materials would be based upon the objectives that you are making. So his belief is that derived from the school of learning experience and knowledge. Then we also have here D.K. Wheeler. He developed the cyclical interactive model of curriculum. So he emphasized the 5 interconnected stages, which is the aims, number 1, aims, goals, and objectives. So as we know that before going through the proper abstraction or the proper learning, we have to know first what is the aim of making this curriculum, what is the goal, and what is the objectives. And then the second is the selections of learning experience. Third is the selection of content. Fourth, organization and integration of learning experience and content. So you're going to apply the organize the learning experience. And then fifth is the evaluation. So you have to evaluate all the resources that you are going to use in making curriculum. So his belief, according to D.K. Wheeler, his belief that the curriculum provides the learning target, planning time allocation, and classroom arrangement. We also have D.K. Walker. This person developed also the naturalist process model of curriculum. So he includes the 3 important essential elements in making curriculum. So what are those? Number 1, platforms that provides the belief or principles to guide the curriculum developers. Number 2, deliberations, which is the process of decision making from the available alternatives. And number 3, design the organization structure of the curriculum. So we need to have the platforms that provides our belief or principles to guide the curriculum developer. So what are the platforms? So if you are belong to an institution, so that institution that will serve you as your platform, that you would base your curriculum on their mission, vision, and goals. So the purpose of the schools and what the school wants of their product as the results or outcome of the curriculum. So the second is the deliberation, the process of decision making from available alternatives. So there will be deliberations upon the process of decision making. So the curriculum making, it will not be done by you alone, but you have to discuss it or deliberate it with your companion or co-teachers or other member of the faculties or officials of the school, so that they will know what would be the best curriculum when we make. So, and then design the organization and the structure of the curriculum. So the designs, organization, and structure is very also important, that the future educators someday will base the process of making the curriculum. So his belief, the D.K. Walker naturalist process model, his belief is a curriculum is a process of consensus, thus involving the different community and counterparts. So that will be the end of my discussion, and thank you and God bless everyone.
Teachers and the curriculum. Teachers use a curriculum define what the learner will learn and can be possibly guide when the teachers learn the information from the lesson. A curriculum offers a teacher's ideas and strategies for assessing student process. Students must be made certain academic requirements in order to go to the text library without the guidance of a curriculum. Teachers cannot be certain that they have supplied the necessary knowledge opportunity for the student success at the next level, whether that level involve college or career. So no, yung teachers is siya yung nag-give knowledge or opportunities for the student to be success on the next level, whether it is involve the college or the career. So yung teacher siya yung nag-guide sa student para maging successful in the future. Curriculum. The curriculum can help a student to achieve some personal control over their learning, to plan their semester, and to manage their time effectively and describe active learning. So no, yung curriculum siya yung nag-guide or nag-help the student to para ma-achieve yung mga personal control or para mag-guide sa learning, and also to manage their time effectively, and also to be an active learning. So the curriculum is a guide a student to achieve their learning.
Good day everyone, my name is Nathaniel Gian de la Cruz, and my report is all about the role of teacher in curriculum development. Teachers play a crucial role in curriculum development, drawing upon their understanding of stakeholder needs, learner psychology, and teaching methodology. They serve as planners, designers, evaluators, researchers, decision makers, and administrators throughout the curriculum development process. This process involves analyzing various factors such as vision, mission, social forces, and learning objectives, and translating them into actionable plans. Curriculum development phases encompass instructional development, materials and media development, and implementation with a focus on promoting effective teaching and learning experiences. Collaboration, feedback, and problem solving are essential aspects, fostering a culture and continuous improvement within schools to adapt to changing needs and conditions. So here are the key points. First, we have teachers' role in curriculum development are understanding stakeholder needs and learner psychology, serving as planners, designers, evaluators, and decision makers, engaging in each step of curriculum development process. Next is curriculum development process. We have an analysis of vision, mission, and social forces, translation of needs into learning objectives, and curriculum preparation involving systematic data collection and organization. Third is curriculum development phases. So we have instructional development, materials and media development, implementation focusing on effective teaching and learning experiences, and evaluation, review, and continuous improvement. Lastly, the abstraction of it is we need to emphasize the importance of collaboration, feedback, and problem solving. Next is advocates for a culture of continuous improvement within schools. And lastly, acknowledge that schools are never perfect but should strive for self-actualization through ongoing assessment and adoption. So, in essence, teachers are instrumental in shaping the educational landscape, driving curriculum development forwards through their expertise, dedication, and commitment to excellence. So that's all. Thank you.
So, good day everyone. So, my name is Denison Castillo. So, my topic is instructional procedures. So, the outcome-based teaching learning plan is an effective forerunner approach of the generations. The methods used imparting instruction are employed with a view guiding the student self-realization through the development of his or her analytical and critical judgment, and the stimulation of his or her social awareness. So, they are adapted to the subject matter, situational needs, and individual difference, and are conducted on the collegiate level. So, many of the specific outcomes in this program. So, a student emphasize the metacognition. So, student recall and describe what they have done, a particular situation. So, and recount how, when, and why. So, student then assess the value of the strategy that they have used. So, make modification and then abandon them in favor of new approach. So, and monitor the use of this rework or new strategies in future situation. So, an instructional procedure is a procedure that creative plan and implement and keep things running smoothly and efficiently in the classroom. So, this procedure cover a wide of situations such as passing the output papers from different subject and what student would do beginning the day. So, by planning the implementing procedure for these various activities, you and your student can spend less time getting ready, more working and learning. So, that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, especially to you sir. So this is my report. Program of studies. Program of study means any course or grouping of courses prerequisite to or indicative of a degree. Program of study means a curriculum of 2 or more courses that is intended or understood to lead to a degree, diploma, or certificate. Program of study are course sequence that prepare students with knowledge and skills and necessary for success in their chosen career. This sequence embed relevant real-world experience and culminate in a post-secondary credential. A program of study is a comprehensive document that outlines the goals, objectives, and content of an individual curriculum. It provides an overview of the courses, subjects, and learning outcomes to be. Example of program study. So, this is the example of program studies. So, in education, a curriculum is broadly defined as the totality of student experiences that occur in the educational process. The term often refers especially to a planned sequence of instruction or to a view of the student's experiences in terms of that educator's school's instructional goals.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, classmates. I'm the next reporter. I'm Joanna Marie Orohonan, and my topic is all about support for effective instruction and academic counseling and co-curricular activities. Most schools have student support groups, such as Guidance Counselor Office, Student Affair Office, and Student Organizations Office. The purpose of Guidance Counselor is to provide holistic support to students, addressing their academic, personal, social, and career-related needs by offering counseling, guidance, advocacy, and crisis intervention services. Guidance counselors play a vital role in helping students navigate the challenges of school and adolescence and achieve success in all areas of their lives. The purpose of student affairs is to enhance the overall student experience by providing comprehensive support services, programs, and resources that promote personal growth, academic success, and holistic well-being. Student affairs professionals work collaboratively with students, faculty, staff, and administrators to create a vibrant and inclusive campus community where students can thrive academically, socially, and personally. And The purpose of student organizations is to provide students with opportunities for personal growth, leadership development, community engagement, and social connection outside of the classroom. These organizations offer a platform for students to pursue their interests, passions, and causes while fostering a sense of belonging and camaraderie within the campus community. Do you think that these support groups within the institution of the school are useful to a student? Yes. Why? Because support groups within educational institutions play a curricular role in supporting students' holistic development, fostering a positive campus environment, and enhancing the overall college experience by providing diverse opportunities for social, academic, and personal growth. These support groups contribute to students' success, well-being, and fulfillment during their academic journey and beyond. There are 11 other support amenities from these units, offices, and department for effective instructional service and development are indispensable. Such evidence are needed. 11 support unit offices and department. First, registrar. Second, student affairs. Third, guidance counseling. Fourth, canteen. Fifth, library. Sixth, laboratory. Seventh, audiovisual room. 8, comfort room. 9, finance. 10, engineering and maintenance. And 11, other allied support units directly and indirectly affect the organizational behavior of the school. First, a registrar. A registrar is an official or organization responsible for maintaining records typically of a particular type. In summary, a registrar plays a vital role in the administration and management of records and data, ensuring the smooth operation of processes related to academic progress, shareholders, transactions, or public record keeping. Next is student affairs. Student affairs refers to the division within a university or college that focuses on providing support services and programs to enhance students' academic success, personal development, and overall well-being. The purpose of student affairs in an educational institution is to support and enhance the overall student experience, both academically and personally. Student Affairs Department aim to create a conducive environment for learning and personal development, ensuring that students can thrive during their time at the institution. Next is guidance counseling. Guidance counseling, often referred to simply as counseling, is a service provided by trained professionals to help individuals navigate personal, social, academic, and career-related challenges or decisions. The purpose of guidance counseling, often referred to as school counseling, is to support student academic career, personal, and social development. Guidance counselors play a critical role in helping students navigate their educational journey and prepare for future challenges. Next is canteen. A canteen is a term used to describe a place, typically within an institution like a school, college, or workplace, where food and beverage are sold or provided. The purpose of canteen is focusing on providing nutritional support, convenience, and a social space, while also promoting healthy eating habits and supporting a broader objectives of the institution it serves. Next is library. A library is a collection of informational resources, typically books, magazines, journals, newspapers, and multimedia materials, organized and maintained for public use. Library is also to serve as an essential resource for information, education, cultural, and community engagement. Libraries play a critical role in promoting literacy, supporting academic and personal growth, and providing a space for the community to gather, learn, and connect. Next is laboratory. A laboratory is a controlled environment where scientific experiments, research, and investigations are conducted. It's equipped with specialized equipment, instruments, and facilities tailored to specific fields of study such as chemistry, biology, physics, and engineering. In summary, the purpose of a laboratory is encompassing scientific research, education, quality control, medical diagnostics, environmental monitoring, safety, technological development, and more. Laboratories are curricular for advancing knowledge, improving processes, and ensuring safety and compliance across various fields. Next, audiovisual room. An audiovisual room is a dedicated space equipped with audio and visual technology, designed for presentations, meetings, lectures, or entertainment purposes. An audiovisual room serves as a versatile space equipped with the necessary technology to support a variety of activities that benefits from multimedia, presentation, and communication tools. Its primary purpose includes enhancing education, facilitating professional development, supporting meetings and conferences, hosting entertainment and cultural events, and aiding in content creation and recording. Next is comfort room. A comfort room is a term used in some countries, particularly in the Philippines, and other parts of Southeast Asia to refer to a restroom or bathroom. Comfort room is to ensure that individuals have access to clean, private, and comfortable space to manage their personal hygiene needs. This contributes significantly to public health, personal well-being, and overall comfort in our various environments from public places and workplaces to educational institutions and homes. Next is finance. Finance refers to the management of money and other assets, including investing, borrowing, budgeting, saving, and planning for the future. Finance is to ensure the effective management of financial resources, enabling organizations and individuals to achieve their objectives, maximize value, and sustain growth. Finance play a critical role in decision-making, resource allocation, risk management, and strategic planning, contributing to overall economic stability and success. Next is engineering and maintenance. Engineering and maintenance refer to the processes involved in designing, constructing, and ensuring the operational functionality of various systems, structures, equipment, or facilities. In summary, the purpose of engineering and maintenance is to design, building, operate, and maintain physical assets in a way that ensures their reliability, safety, efficiency, and sustainability. By implementing proactive maintenance strategies, optimizing assets, performance, and complying with regulatory requirements, or organizations can maximize the value of their investment and achieve long-term success. Last, other allied support units directly and indirectly affect the organizational behavior of the school. These various support units within a school both directly and indirectly influence its organizational behavior. And thank you. This is my last report, sir. The connection of my report is Bernard Sakdalan.
Administration and supervision. The institution program of student services should clearly reflect the BMG's purpose and objective of the institution. Admission. The admission program of the institution should provide proper selection and direction of prospective students. Guidance program and services. The college should have a program designed to orient new students as well as to reorient old students to the BMG's philosophy and the characteristic core values of the particular institution. Student development program and services. Student development programs and services encompass a wide range of initiatives aimed at the supporting students in their personal, academic, and professional growth. This may include counseling services, career development programs, leadership training, academic support, mentorship programs, and more. Student organization and activities. Student organizations and activities are an integral part of the university experience, offering students opportunities to engage outside the classroom, develop leadership skills, pursue interests, and build community. This can range from academic club and honor societies to cultural organizations, sports team, volunteer groups, and more. Student Assistant Program. A student assistant program typically involves hiring students to work in various roles within a university or college setting. These positions can include administrative support, research assistant, tutoring, or other tasks that contribute to the functioning of the institution. Specialized student services. Specialized student services often cater to specific needs like academic support, counseling, disability service, or career guidance, tailoring assistance to individual students for their success. Alumni relations. Alumni relations focus on maintaining connection between a university and its former students. They often involve networking opportunities, events, fundraising initiatives, and providing resources to support alumni in their personal and professional life post-graduation.
Good day everyone, I'm Jasper Scalaging, BTBTED Automotive. So my topic is Unit 2, Mechanism for Monitoring and Review of Curriculum and Graduation Requirements. Okay, so let's go on analysis. The Academic Administrator from DepEd, Experienced Secretary of Education, Director, Superintendent, Supervisor, Principal,
head teacher, master teacher, and the teacher. From the CHED experience, president, vice president for the academic affair, deans, chairman, and the teacher should exercise sound judgment in the development and management of the curriculum. And also periodic conference with deans, heads, faculty, students, and the community counterpart partner should be often held. So, having a robust systems, policies, and procedures in place ensures that teaching and learning flows as smoothly as possible. So, mechanism for monitoring and review of curriculum, as you can see, this is the relative laws. In monitoring mechanism such as class observation, student evaluation of teaching, checking teacher course, files and student portfolios, collecting feedback from stakeholders and program and courses should be utilized to check the effectiveness of the curriculum. And it should be noted that the participation of the community, student, alumni, and other school counterparts, partners, or stakeholder through their representative in the Board of Trustees must be observable. They can ventilate concerns that need immediate action. They can suggest company, industry, and business job opportunities by cascading the curriculum into the alignment of the need to school counterparts. The monitoring tools and machineries are already designed ready for the collecting and gathering of data. 10 areas archives are explosive ready to be utilized in the Quality Assurance Center. So, the number 1 is governance, and the next, faculty, curriculum, employability, student service, adapt to community program, researches, library, laboratory, physical plan. In graduation requirements, the institution has a college department with the following function for admission, promotion, retention, survival rates, and graduation. Inform the student of the college requirements at the start of the program. Provide a system for student transferee to meet the college residence requirements. Formulate the policies, guidelines for candidates for graduation. Requires graduating student to conduct and complete research project practicum in their major field and areas concentration. So, in graduation requirements, refer to the specific criteria and obligations that student must fulfill in order to successfully complete their academic program and receive a degree or diploma from an educational institution. So, that's all. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, guys. This is my topic of my report. A teacher as a researcher. Analysis. From the lens of the author, this teacher have gained valuable information about their teaching and student learning. Key to their discoveries was the research attitude held by each of the teachers. The carryover culture of the research by every teacher in the classroom is a healthy sign of the productive teaching learning environment. It is useful to think of the reason to encourage this attitude as a falling into 3 categories. Teacher empowerment, promoting a dynamic process orientation as the contrasted to static content approach. Teacher research can help into building scientific knowledge base about learning and teaching. Several RLs on teacher as a researcher mentioned that the importance of teacher research enhancing self-esteem, professionalism, and environment. And this researcher conclude the teacher research and as a researcher is our key to educational change and authority. Good teachers are necessarily autonomous in professional judgment. They do not need to be told what to do. And the following positive attitude of the teacher must process: empowered,
The teacher is an agent of a change, thinker, an innovator, and process of an independent mind. They come up decision making fortified by data banking. They are impartial and allow the data bank to speak out their reservoir or information. Their impartiality point out the strength of the availability of the data bank. They are empowered because of their independent mind. They are fortified by knowledge because knowledge is power. They move mountain as a teacher. They are translator of collectors of data. Database is the language of their action. Teacher empowerment liberalize education in the teaching learning environment. Liberalization education create academic freedom. Teacher dynamism. The productive mind of teacher made the teaching learning environment meaningful. A well-rounded teacher made the teaching learning environment like a flowing river. The dynamism of the teacher seen by her total unique personality. The manner of the teacher think, behaves, and act is always maneuver and pivoted with vigor. Teacher dynamism is always proactive, consistent, and repeatable. It's not coming from knowledge, it's database oriented. That's all for today. Thank you.